potentially missing out is a big blow, but we've got some, we've got other senior players back, and whilst Farrell's massive, I think having Bateman back is a real big help to that side, and it probably gives young Jack Wells another go in the side, and I'm liking his exposure to the top level. But we've got selection question marks as well now, which we've not had all season, with people thinking maybe I might not get picked automatically, like people like Isa, for example, and Tao Tai and people. So there's that challenge for players there, and I'm sure they'll rise to it. Warrington have got everything to play for and had a great result last week, but it's still important for Wigan that we get this momentum going and ride it through to the semi-final of the Cup. So I feel with our solid attacking structure there and a little bit more competition for places in the pack, I'm going to go 28-16 win for my Wigan Warriors, despite the relatively shortish turnaround from the France trip.
Yeah, I agree with a great deal of what you said there. I think we're going to be too strong for Warrington. I've got the points been a little bit close there, 26-18 for me. Castleford, though, take on Salford in a fixture that was moved so they could be put on to Sky on Friday evening. First Thursday's third. I think Castleford are going to probably not have it all their own way again, particularly against the Salford side that will want to pick up and fix up from their performance against Leeds. But I do think at home they're going to have more than enough to come away with the win. 30 points to 20 I've gone for in favour of Castleford.
Yeah, when you think Salford are likely to be missing Junior Sal, I'm not sure Logan Tompkins will be back. I'm not sure what improvements they'll be able to make on that squad, because it was a pretty strong team anyway. But there's things there that aren't quite right for Salford based on how easily Leeds were able to get the speed up on them, and the way Paul McShane's playing, the way his pack are all sort of complementing each other around him, and the absolute terrifying speed out of the back that's coming for Castleford. I can't see them losing at home, so 36-20 in that one. 11
in a row. So at the same time on Friday night, Huddersfield Giants take on the Leeds Centurions down at the John Smiths. Anything to say that this won't be a win for Huddersfield for you, or what do you think?
No, I can't see further than a sizable win for Huddersfield. I've gone 38-14. I think that tells you what you need to know about how I feel this game will go.
We're in a similar position. I've gone 42-16. I think if they can pump Widnes, they can certainly pump Lee for a few points. Again, we're saying it every week, they're missing Jake Mayo, but the score, they've got it in them. They've found a way of being dominant and winning these games of Huddersfield, and they're on that uptick, and I think Lee will come into town at the wrong time for this confident Giants side. Unfortunately, it could be another kicking for the Centurions. At the same time, Leeds take on Hull FC over at Headingley. Mark, what do you make of this one? Bit of a mouthwaterer.
It's this what Hull turn up kind of situation, isn't it? That's got me questioning things. Look, I would expect Hull's scramble in defence, led by Danny Houghton, to be a little bit more able to contain things down the middle from this Leeds, forward unit.
Yeah.
And I think that Hull's exit sets should be quite strong with people like Fanua and Talanoa and things like that. And if they don't make any mistakes and shoot himself in the foot, they can win this one. But I think Leeds have got something going now, so I think they will just about win this one at home. I think they're good enough with the forward pack playing the way it's playing, and the halves giving something now. And they've got three choices in there that are all showing nice things, which is vastly different to last year when they had one young player who was occasionally showing nice things.
Yeah.
So 24-20 in favour of Leeds.
I've gone 26-18 in favour of Leeds. I think they're on that bit of a roll now, and Hull are looking shaky. So I think it'll go in the favour of the home team again. Widnes take on Wakefield in the final Friday evening fixture. Can the Vikings fix up last week's humping at Huddersfield and get a win over Wakefield?
I'm not sure.
Kept it alliterative there. Did you enjoy that?
They can be bothered.
Yeah.
They might not feel like they can capitulate quite so easily at home in front of their own fans.
Must feel obliged to try a little harder.
Maybe. So I'm going to give them a little bit of credit on that score, but I think Wakefield will be the better side. I think Wakefield's forwards are far more cutting and imposing than what Widnes offer. And we've talked about Widnes's pack being a bit workaday forever and a day.
Yeah.
And what Wakefield did is add to that with explosive options with Hubie's offloading game for feet as every bit of his impact game. Yeah. Even Walker's got a decent offload and a pass out the back and stuff. So they really did juice up that pack for this season.
Yeah.
And that's where they're definitely going to be the better side in this one. So 30 points to 10 for Wakefield, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think Wakefield are going to come away with the win. Perhaps not quite as big a margin, but virtually the same. 24 points to 12 for a lot of the same reasons. I think they'll be too strong for Widnes. Widnes, again, of packing it up now, looking at the middle eight, I would have thought. So the final game of the weekend then, Sunday afternoon, St Helens versus Catalan Dragons over at the Totally Wicked Stadium. I think... Look, Steve McNamara has got one win, but I don't see him getting another one as Catalan Dragons coach before, perhaps not even before the end of this, before the split, to be honest with you. And St Helens have got another week of this system being put in place. Yes, they're going to be missing Matty Smith, but that means it's another week of Danny Richardson working hard in training, getting used to the systems and the shapes and the players that he got around him. I just don't see Catalan bringing much by way of enthusiasm for long enough periods of time in this game to get anything from it. I think St Helens will have more than enough in attack. They've got a flourishing set of centres and wingers, and we've not even talked about Regan Grace in recent weeks. I'm going to go 26 points to 10 in favour of Saints.
Yeah, I think it might be the sort of controlled and composed Catalan performance that they put in for much of the Wigan game. I just don't see them yet being able to put that together for an 80 minutes, particularly with some players out and that sort of thing. So I can't see them overcoming a St Helens side that has the absolute quality of James Roby, Johnny Lomax, Mark Percival, Thomas Makinson. I think there's enough there, and Alex Walmsley to win this game, certainly for Saints. I've gone 28-16, so similar ballpark to you, really.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, but don't forget to make your Super Brew predictions or to make changes to your Dream Team lineups, and you can follow all this weekend's action as it happens, thanks to our friends at SL Clubs on Twitter. Championship game of the week, Mark. What have you picked for us?
Featherstone versus Halifax. It's a win and in situation you've got to feel for Fax now, even though they're on a points difference disadvantage to Toulouse. This will give them, breathing space there.
Yeah.
With one game left, they'll be 2 points ahead, so you've got to think the momentum would be with them too. The confidence would be with them as well. And Featherstone maybe Q on the rack time a little bit, job done.
Possibly.
So we'll see. But I think it's an interesting and enticing one between third and fourth, between two close sides. Two sides we saw on Sky Television in the Cup this year, put together a competitive game, really. And I think Halifax missed a few chances in that game, and they're going to need to take them this time.
There you go. League One game of the week.
Whitehaven versus Barrow.
Tell us why.
We could have picked all the games we talked about for the top 8 and bottom 8, but to be honest, the teams we spoke about in that mix-up probably aren't going to be challenging for the promotion final. And also, I think when we went through the games, it was pretty obvious what the results might end up looking like. Whereas this one, we do not know.
No.
This is to take control of second place in the division before the split, and also, probably rolling through that, which gives them a big advantage in those playoffs there. And it'll be a big indicator between two Cumbrian sides. So I think it'll be an interesting one.
Definitely. Origin 3, Mark, the decider. Up in Queensland.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
It's so hard to call, I feel, this one.
do, yeah.
Without Thurston in there, it's so hard to call.
I think Queensland will... I've not seen 19 yet. I've not really looked at the squads.
Slater's a question mark, but I'm sure he'll come through and play. It'll be Cronk's last game of Origin.
I just wonder if New South Wales have got
the best player on the pitch.
Have missed the opportunity in some respect. Well, not missed the opportunity, but had their chance in game 2. And
what I would say,
I think the pressure will be enormous, and Queensland have got that muscle memory of winning, and I just wonder if they'll nick it.
I think Queensland will win too. I think it'll be a close win. I think if New South Wales do win, it'll be by a bigger margin. I think they've been the better team.
Yeah.
In total in this series so far, but it's that thing that you just said, that experience of going over that line and winning. That I think, although there's a core of like Cronulla players, isn't there really in this and Roosters players who've got experience of winning, playing in big games, grand finals, winning them and stuff. But no, I'm going Queensland like you because of that, like you say, muscle memory, but also the emotional factor as well.
Fair enough.
This might be the last of their dominance as well.
Okay, no worries. NRL Brit picks this week, Mark. What have we got?
The Raiders versus the Dragons on Friday at 10:50am. So you should be able to see a few of our guys playing out there. Certainly players who will be in the international squad come the end of the season. Knights versus Broncos Saturday at 8:30. If you want to see Joe Wardle. Titans versus the Sharks Saturday at 10:30. So following that up, that will be Joe Greenwood in action. Then the Rabbitohs versus the Cowboys Sunday 7am. Sorry, for your Burgess treat.
There you go. Okay, that is your 150th Super League pod. All that remains for us to do is wrap up the show. Okay, so here we are, wrapping up the show for the 150th time. This is the free-form part of the show that's kind of developed the most over our 150 goes round mark, and we come into the ever-popular trivia section.
What did we do you think, in the first... I listened to the first episode, I listened to some of it last night whilst I was putting the rundown together, because I thought...
God, how do we sound?
Do you know what? Way better than I remember us sounding. Right. A lot more serious. A lot sharper and a lot more organised in our, back and forth kind of. It was almost like we'd not scripted, but mapped out some of the handoffs and stuff. That's become a bit more fluid and disjointed at the same time over time. Exactly. But I didn't get through to the end of the episode, so I don't know how we wrapped up the first show. But yeah,
probably thanks for the 10 people that listened or something.
We didn't have rundowns back in those days.
No, it was just all kind of on the back of a fag packet, wasn't it?
A little bit more so, yeah. Because especially because that was before the games had started as well. So we had our notes individually, but I don't think we had the rundowns. Didn't start until about. Well, the saved proper rundowns didn't start until episode 15 or so.
There you go. Look at that. Okay, the trivia quiz this week. What have you got for me? Have you come back fighting after my what we'll call the Herman essay week?
I was gonna, because I had NRL Brit players lined up already that I've got sat on my list of ones that I'd put together earlier in the year. But
okay, let me get my papers ready for when I make my notes.
But instead I thought, let's do some flashback to season 1, episode 1, when we previewed the 2014 season. And if you remember,
can I use Google?
We picked our key men and ones to watch, which has morphed a little bit into star men and rising stars, because my intention was ones to watch were going to be young up and comers, but you were picking people like Justin Paul, people like that as your ones to watch. So I thought we need to change the names.
Yeah, okay.
I thought we'd covered it off in the in the briefing sessions, but it didn't work out that way. But now we've got it nailed down. But back then, your one to watch could have been anyone, and your key men could have been anyone. So I've picked out the total of 7 to get. Everyone at home can play along to, because I've put some clues in.
Okay.
7 to get, but there's 6 questions.
What am I getting?
And I'm going to talk through. These are players who one of the two of us either picked out to be a key man for their side or one to watch for their side.
During episode 1
for the 2014 season.
Fucking hell!
So,
this is very specific. I am going to do terribly on this. Go on.
Question 1 is, who was Tom's one to watch for the 2014 Bradford Bulls? I've written down mine there.
Oh God! One to watch. So this
clue could apply to mine as well as yours, actually. But the clue is, he's now living up to that potential a short trip away in Super League after finally getting off that sinking ship at Odsal.
Right. One to watch. Is it John Bateman?
No, he was at.
Was he already at
he was
Wigan?
your one to watch for Wigan for 2004.
Oh, was it? Right, he already moved to Wigan.
Good job I didn't put that as a question later on.
There you go. Okay.